Todd Bodine will have to get by this front row. It's Kyle Busch and Rick Crawford coming to the green flag. Crawford starting his 300th race. A great start, and we're underway in Atlanta.
Harvick already peeking to the outside of Kyle Busch. Got a good start from that in that Chevrolet, and he's going to drive up on the outside of that Toyota.
Rick Crawford got a horrible start on the outside of the front row. He's already back to about 6th.
Kyle Busch got on the gas. Rick Crawford was sleeping at the wheel at the beginning of this one, but it looks like he's back in line.
Remember now, Kyle Busch hasn't faced this in a few weeks now in California. Nobody was able to challenge him.
Who's going to lead the first lap? It looks like it's going to be Kevin Harvick.
And he may just be making a statement with that pass on Kyle Busch.
Out in front of the field, Kevin Harvick leads lap 1 in Atlanta.
Kyle Busch is going to try to make a statement back. I hope you enjoyed that, Kevin, because I'm on my way.
A big run on the outside, and Kyle Busch back in front.
A couple statements being made here already.
These two Cup drivers battling it out at the front of the field early.
We saw something we never saw in California. Kyle Busch getting passed under the green flag. Didn't happen.
Right behind him, that VFW, number 33 of Ron Hornaday. Ray, what's going on early with these guys?
Well, Rick, I just wanted to tell you this is the 10th time we've run this series at Atlanta, and believe it or not, the pole sitter has not led the first lap in 5 of those 10 races. Pretty amazing. Harvick got the jump on Kyle Busch.
You see Harvick starting to close the gap. It looked like Kyle Busch had a really good second lap, but on this third lap, here comes Harvick, and look at this battle.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 wide. James Buescher on the outside, a little bit slow off the corner. Rick Crawford, teammate, pulls up underneath him. 3 wide right behind him.
Ricky Carmichael in the middle. I'm sure he's feeling a little uneasy right now in that position. He's got TJ Bell on the inside of him in the number 11.
Look at Terry Cook go to the high side of James Buescher, trying to make it pass in that Harris Trucking Toyota.
2 and 3 wide back here in the field. Battles up front continuing. Rick Crawford drops back another spot.
Remember yesterday in practice, Ricky Carmichael was out there with his boss man, Kevin Harvick. Kevin was showing him the high line, and Ricky's up there already.
Ricky Carmichael tucking to the back bumper of that 14 of Rick Crawford. See if those two will work together to move toward the front.
It doesn't matter whether you like the high line or not. You better know how to use it, because you have to be able to go where other trucks aren't. Some guys will get down on the bottom of that racetrack and just stay there. You're going to have to make a move around the outside of them.
300 starts for Rick Crawford.
Yeah, an amazing feat for Rick Crawford and Tom Mitchell, team owner. Adam Alexander.
And not the start they would have liked after rolling in the second position 4 laps in. Rick Crawford finds himself 12th. You see the replay right of your screen of the start. Crawford didn't say anything on the radio for the first 3 laps. Then he came back and said, no grip, none. Kevin Starlin, the crew chief, said, look for it and you'll find it. And of course, as you guys know in the booth, as far as drivers are concerned, you can search on this racetrack to help your truck.
And remember, the last time these guys, including Mike Skinner, Matt Crafton, were on this racetrack, it was about 10 o'clock this morning. Overcast skies, tremendous amount of grip. Now it's hot, over 70 degrees, and all these guys will be complaining about no grip.
2 distinct lines there. Matt Crafton running right along the white line. Mike Skinner was up toward the wall.
And we liked the way Skinner's truck handled in qualifying this morning. He was able to run right along that white line. So we felt like he would be very competitive today. He struggled somewhat lately, Phil, but he looks like he might have a truck under him today.
Meanwhile,
yeah,
Kyle Busch has opened up a bit of a lead here, Rick.
First and second, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, in 1.3 seconds separating the 2 of them early on. Adam?
And you guys talking about Mike Skinner, I think the one challenge they have faced in the early part of 2009 is communication. They are still filling each other out. Eric Phillips is the crew chief, Mike Skinner the new driver there. I think once they catch their stride, this team will contend week in and week out. Right now, though, Mike thinks they are still a step behind where they need to be. Part of that probably true. The other part probably the fact that he's an impatient guy and believes they should be a championship contender right now.
And Mike Skinner running in the 7th spot, just a couple trucks in front of him. Chad McCumbee is really, I guess, put on the gas, to say the least. He started 11th and already up into the top 5.
Yeah, coming off a lot of momentum. He had a great run at California a couple of weeks ago, looking to get by the 6th of Colin Brown to take over the 4th spot. Chad has a great run going. He was awfully happy with the truck. We talked to him yesterday during practice. We talked to him today during qualifying. Just glowing terms about this truck. And Ray, what's going on with that 6th truck of Colin Brown?
Well, the first couple laps, Phil, he ran with the tire blowers on, the bead blowers, but he said he just didn't feel like temperatures were coming up. So he said the truck is better with the fans off. So he shut both the front fans off. So we'll see how quickly that tire pressure builds up. The temperature is starting to warm up here at Atlanta right now in the low 70s.
10 of 130 laps are in the books. It's Kyle Busch that's in front of the field now. He hasn't led all the laps, though. Kevin Harvick led the field at the beginning of this one. Kyle Busch picking up where he left off in California. Thursday on an all-new Bull Run, what began as a simple competition has grown into an intense rivalry, and disaster strikes when the teams push the limits of speed and strategy too far, too fast. And this time the consequences are bigger than ever. Don't miss an all-new Bull Run with Bill Goldberg Thursday night at 10 Eastern. Now, tickets are still available for tomorrow's race, the Cobalt 500. Right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, just call 1-877-926-7849. A gorgeous weekend for racing.
And if you want to see 500 miles of incredible action, you come out here to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Actually, Michael, running up high, you may run 520 miles or something like that.
Yeah, the groove is there. You're going to see a great race, just like you're seeing now. This is a battle for the lead. One guy up top, one guy down at the bottom.
Kevin Harvick challenging for the lead once again. Slides right in behind that 51 of Kyle Busch.
Betcha Kyle Busch is thinking, you weren't at California, were you, Harvick?
And now I'm glad you weren't.
Matt Crafton making the pass on Chad McCumbee. Moves up to 4th. Adam Alexander.
And no surprise to see Matt Crafton gaining ground on the front. He loves Atlanta. In fact, it's his favorite track. He started 12th today. Not the best of qualifying runs, but now, as you see, has worked his way into the top 5, going around Chad McCumbee. And then you talk about Chad McCumbee. You guys mentioned the fact that he was on the move early, started 11th. He is also up into the top 5. He got a top 5 finish at California, and all of the crew members along pit road were shaking his crew chief Bobby Dotter's hands. Bobby Dotter's been a long time in this series, and it's good to see him receiving the fruits of his labor. Ray?
Ron Hornaday on your screen right now, carrying the VFW sponsorship on that 33 truck. He just relayed to his crew chief Rick Wren that this track is much more grippy than it was yesterday. He says he attributes that to all the cup practice that they had earlier today here at Atlanta. He said the truck is really in the track. He likes how it feels, and he's able to run right down on the bottom.
The exact opposite of what Rick Crawford was talking about at the start of this race.
There's a good side-by-side battle right there. Todd Bodine moved to the inside of Colin Brown to take over that 6th spot.
Takes it away from Colin Brown as we're riding on board with the Ford onboard.
We were watching yesterday in practice and in qualifying, and we heard all these trucks running just about wide open. Not anymore. They're already a 1.5 seconds, Rick, to 2 seconds slower than their fastest lap of the race. Kyle Busch's fastest lap of the race, 31.51 on lap number 2. His last lap, 33.65, over 2 seconds slower as the tires give up grip.
And just to tell you how the balance of a truck is really important, the fastest truck on that last lap was Hornaday. He was about 0.4 of a second faster than our leader. And the next fastest truck, Terry Cook, down in the 9th position. Didn't qualify well, but's got a real good truck in race conditions and is coming to the front.
Todd Bodine also moving toward the front. Bodine starting this one in the 4th spot. Actually has dropped back a position to 5th. Where he's running now.
You know, we talk about Tilted Kilt coming on board that 30 truck, and that was terrific. This also reminded folks that Geico also helped these guys get to this racetrack too with some sponsorship, as well as what all Toyota does for them.
This is fun here, Phil. Check out Harvick. You want to see a guy at work, run in second.
Watch his hands.
Don't think he's cruising. Watch these hands when he gets down to turn 1. Listen to the gas, trying to figure out how much he can give it, what it'll hold. It ain't holding what he's giving it, is it?
He had to back off that.
Listen,